Okay, that somewhat works. Not exactly the plan, but I think I can make this work. So, I am just going to divide up. This is ground pork. Now, my ground pork, I divide into little 4-ounce patties. Simply because it's slightly easier for me. I mean, I know some people do it differently. Everyone has their own way of doing things. I prefer little 4-ounce things of it. It just goes a little easier for me. I guess it's weird for some people, but I just sort of kind of do it in little balls, and then I check it in my little measuring thing. I actually got this little measuring thing at Walmart about a year ago. I want to say year and a half ago. Yeah. So I just kind of sit here and keep adding to it until I get exactly 4 ounces of ground pork. I know some people do it other ways. I guess it's all personal preference. And then when it's done, I set it over here on the lined cookie sheet that I have. And I just kind of keep going. I mean, it's not really, I guess, difficult. I mean, I figure, hey, 4 ounces is a good number for us. Mainly because I don't use ground pork for a lot of things. I kind of mix it in with the ground beef. And I mean, I can always make little pork sausage patties out of it, which I've done that before too. But yeah, basically it's just sort of kind of, why does that one not look as big? Sort of kind of just sit there and keep playing with it. Alright, that's better. And I will just basically divide this up. Make little round balls. And I actually end up doing 4 ounces in each of the Ziploc baggies. So it ends up being a pound of pork per Ziploc. But I do it in the 4-ounce portions because this way I don't have to use all of the ground pork if I don't want to. Yeah, it's just the way I do things. I'm trying to hurry up and do this so this isn't a super long video. I'm only going to do one of them, and then I'm going to show you how I package them up, because I didn't expect this to take this long of a time. Oh, I guess this really is time consuming. I never realized it. So yeah, this is just, okay, there. You see I got 4 of them on this little tray, and sorry about that, dipping my hands just a little bit. And now what I do is I have quart-size freezer bags. I mean, these are Great Value brand, I believe. I'll show you one real quick. They're just the quart-size freezer Ziplocs. For right now, I'm going to stick that in there. And I just simply label it with the date and GROU, ground. I always put ground pork, 4 ounces, the date, and then I reuse a lot of things. These are just little square pieces of wax paper. You can use parchment paper. These actually came out of my what are they called? The toaster strudels with the wax paper that they come in. One of the sleeves, after I use the pastries up, I cut the sleeve in half, and then I cut it again, so I have 4 pieces. And what I do is I take the little pork things, pat it down, stick it on here, kind of wrap it up like a little mini burrito, turn it upside down so the wax paper is on all the sides, open up the Ziploc bag, and then I stick one in there, and then do it again for another one. I only do 2. And what I do, I only do 2 of them. And then I take another one and kind of shape it. And then as you see, that one has the paper on it. And then I stick the one that doesn't have the paper, literally, I stick it right next to it in the bag. And I take the second one with the paper. I make sure that the meat itself is on the bottom, and I take this one and then I stick it on top ways next to the one that doesn't. And then the final one, I pat it down a little, and then I stick it in the bag, and then close the bag. And as I'm slowly closing the bag, I'm kind of pushing the air out and flattening the ground pork at the same time. And I just sort of kind of flatten, push air, and zip it. Flatten, and push the air, and zip it. And there you go. That is it. Labeled and ready to go in the freezer. And I freeze them flat. I do have a deep freezer, so. Okay. Wow, that's an 8-minute long video. I didn't expect that. Hopefully, a little insight of what I do when I come back from the meat market. That's ground pork. I do that with ground beef almost exactly the same way, except for the ground beef is in 8-ounce portions, and they go vertically, like horizontally in the bag. But yeah, that's basically how I do ground pork, ground chicken, ground beef. 8 minutes and 30 seconds, not bad. Alright, YouTube. Bye. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.